Hey chat, it's Crafty Type 1, and we accidentally got the file size for the Switch 2 edition of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. In this video, I'm going to talk about it, as well as if we should actually be worried about the game and the story. PC characters. I genuinely think people are blowing it out of the water. But in this video, we're going to go over it all. Before we do that, I am doing a holiday giveaway. All you got to do is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, comment down below, and then sometime near Christmas Day, that is December 24th, I'll be doing a live stream and a live drawing revealing a winner for a $70 gift card. Again, all you gotta do is comment, make sure you're subscribed, and you are entered. Best of luck. So getting into the main topic, Metroid Prime 4 Switch 2 download card reveals a file size of 29 gigs, which is actually pretty big for a Nintendo published game. This comes from My Nintendo News, where they have photos of a Japanese Switch 2 download card, which has some really cool graphics and information, stating that you could play it, of course, in handheld and in mouse mode, as well as Viola, different upgrades, and the overall gameplay loop. And this, I don't know why this card looks so good. But what's important to talk about is the 29 gigs, and it could even be slightly bigger because of a day one patch. And not even the website shows this file size, by the way, which is kind of crazy. But comparing it to other Nintendo Switch 2 published games, Kirby Air Riders, the most recent one, being 21.7, so bigger than that. Mario Kart World be 21.9, so bigger than that. And the one game that I feel like is a really great comparison, a single player adventure style game, Donkey Kong Bonanza, it is blowing that out of the water. I didn't even realize Donkey Kong Bonanza was less than 10 gigs. The only game Nintendo has published that it doesn't beat out is Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment being 43.4 gigs, but actually closing in on it. So this game being 29 gigs for the Switch 2 edition is actually pretty good. And yes, this game is being developed for the Switch 1, and I am interested to see the file size of that card. But legitimately, I think right now, compared to the Switch 2 games we have, this is exciting. Of course, I think this game is going to look great. It's going to have really great cutscenes and graphics, but man, am I excited. Looking at this is a trailer that came out today called Survive, and it just showcases the game spectacularly. And I generally do think the Switch 2 edition of this game is probably the way to play it. For one, mouse mode, and two, it's just the graphics. It is crazy. It is beautiful. But this new trailer actually kind of sums up my thoughts on the whole debate on if Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is being too far away from the Metroid Prime kind of style. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, all you got to do is search up Miles McKenzie, which essentially is causing everyone to second guess whether this game is going to be good or not. Mainly stemming from an IGN review saying that the tutorial NPC or character that you meet up with is very annoying. And honestly, I'm tending to agree with them. And what's most shocking to me is Arlo. Arlo, the happy-go-lucky Muppet Nintendo reviewer, which honestly I haven't really thought to be a very critical guy, says it's horrible. And that's when you know you messed up. Just an example, I've already showed the clips of him being introduced, so if you guys want to check that out, check out my previous video on it. But this is during gameplay where he just comments on everything. I really don't want anyone in here. And he does that for apparently everything, where he does it to enemies, secret entrances, save points. He apparently just does not stop talking. I'm gonna show his introductory clip because it again sums it up perfectly.
My planet, no hope of survival. But you're also not sitting next to Phil anymore in the cubicle, so win? Okay. What now?
Genuinely, it's hard to me, it's okay because I see the story they're kind of trying to go to. In the overview trailer of the Switch 2 edition, they actually go in depth with the Galactic Federation troopers, where we got, the sick cutscene of the overall graphical quality of this game but as well as the multiple varieties of troopers we get to meet. And it shows gameplay of, Miles McKenzie, as well as other troopers you'll meet. And I'm getting this sense of a more like Rogue One kind of developing a really cool team to get yourself off of this planet. And to me, I think it's cool. To a lot of other people, they seem to disagree. And honestly, like you look up Metroid Prime atmosphere, and these two videos by Video Game Animation Study sums it up perfectly. The literal first 10 seconds of this video says the atmosphere of Metroid Prime is fear, dread, and isolation. And a lot of people are arguing that with the introduction of these NPC characters, you're not really getting any of that. You're not getting, much fear. Of course, the NPC characters are scared. You're not getting much dread because, you have company. And of course, you don't have a lot of isolation because, again, you have company. And to me, I see their point. Like, I genuinely do see their point. With this new trailer that came out today, labeled Survive or titled Survive, I genuinely think that, for one, they're listening. And two, I really don't think it's going to be too much of a problem, or there's going to be a massive shakeup, which then requires us to be alone. Because in all of these segments, there doesn't appear to be anyone there. And, IGN's reviewer did state a good point. Miles McKenzie does establish comm links, and it does, he doesn't stop talking. So genuinely right now, I think that Nintendo is listening to the backlash. And that's the whole reason for these previews, is to understand, for one, how previewers are, handling the game, and two, how the general audience is previewing the game. Because this is honestly the last time they could ship out an update for the game, whether that be a day one patch or on the physical cartridge, which I think it'd probably be with a day one patch. We've had situations like this before with Fi in Skyward Sword HD. They actually toned her down and they realized it was a problem. So I really don't think Miles McKenzie is going to be too much of an issue. Just for one, Nintendo learning from its past experiences. And two, Nintendo has to know the general reception. Like, to me, it feels like it'd be crazy. But even if, hypothetically, they don't change anything, I still think it is going to be fine. To me, right now, it feels like Miles is a tutorial kind of NPC character. And again, from what I've been seeing from a lot of, more trailers, it does seem like there is going to be that isolation that, that everyone is wanting. And you could still be cool and calm and collected because you're Samus. You could be a leader and not talk to anyone. I still think you could be really cool and just literally just stare deadpan. But to me, I definitely feel like right now how the story is probably going to progress is you are going to, collect or meet with one of many Galactic Federation troopers, drop them off at a location, and then go back out. Because as we can see right now, they're all in a spot. And then probably lose comm communication and you're alone. I think there is going to be segments where there's going to be no communication with anyone to get that isolation, because they have to know that this is Metroid Prime, and there has to be segments of, cool moments, but also isolation and scariness and dread. And I think they're going to use the NPC characters to their advantage when it comes to this. I genuinely think so. But I do think there is going to be segments of the game, like with Miles McKenzie in the previews, that you are going to be with, a NPC, or even a point in the game where you're with your whole party, your whole team, which I think will feel cool. But I still don't think they're going to lose sight of what makes Metroid Prime great. And honestly, right now, I think there's probably going to be a day one patch, or even, it comes with the base game, that maybe tones down Miles's interaction. Because I do agree, it is a little crazy. The amount of banter that he has is crazy. But yeah, I know a lot of people are hyped about the game. I am hyped about the game. This is going to be my first Metroid Prime. Legitimately, I'm super excited because the gameplay looks fun. It might even get me to play the remaster of Metroid Prime 1. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below if you're planning to pick up the game, if you think Miles McKenzie is as crazy as possible. A lot of you guys said I looked like Miles McKenzie, and I don't know if I should be insulted by that. Anyways, I'm GravityNet1, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.